Hi everyone, it's Miss Costa here, and in this video we're going to go through how we can add and subtract with surds. Okay, so in this question I'm being asked to write the square root of 20 and the square root of 80 in the form k root 5. So I've been given a clue already. I know that I want to simplify them both so that they end up being something root 5. So let's have a look at the square root of 20 first. Remember, to simplify surds, what we want to do is find the largest square number that fits into them and take that out. So let's just write the square numbers up again. We've got 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, 49. And what's the largest square number that would multiply into 20? That would be 4. So I could write that as 4 times by 5. Because whatever's inside the surd, as long as it's a multiplication of the original, then it's exactly the same. So I could also write this as root 4 times 5. I could just split them up into two separate surds, and that's absolutely fine. And what does root 4 become? The square root of 4 is 2, so that would be 2 root 5. Now I'll do the same with the square root of 80. So the square root of 80 can be written as, what's the largest square number that can fit into 80? Well, we can do this two ways actually. So I'll show you, if you can't find the highest square root number, how you could do it if you ended up not doing that. So let's split that into 4 times 20, which is the same as root 4 times root 20, which would give you 2 root 20. Now what we could then do is split up root 20. So that would give me 2 times by root 4 times by root 5. And what's root 4? Once again, that's 2. So that would be 2 times root 5. So that would give me 4 root 5. So square root of 80 is 4 root 5. And the square root of 20 is 2 root 5. Now, what I could have done, if you recognised it, is done 16 times by 5. But if you didn't, then this is also fine. So I've got root 2 root 5 plus 4 root 5, and if your surds are the same, you can just simplify them like algebra. So if you had 2a plus 4a, that would become 6a. So similarly, 2 root 5 plus 4 root 5 is going to become 6 root 5, and that's how we do that one. So let's have a look at another one. We've got root 50 plus root 18 in the form k root n. A lot of people just don't like this language. They're like, I don't know what it's asking me, so I'm just going to ignore it. Don't do that. Just do what you think you might have to do. It's going to generally be simplifying it. And also k root n, all that means is something to the root of something. You just don't know what that number is. So let's do the root of 50. So once again, the square numbers 4, 9, 16, 25, 49. What's the largest square number that you can think of that fits into this? You could also do root 5 times root 10 and simplify it further, but let's just go ahead with the largest square number, which would be 25 times by 2. So split that up into 2. So you've got root 25 times by root 2, which would become 5 root 2. Let's do the same thing with the square root of 18. So what's the largest square number? That would be 9 times 2, which is a square root of 9 times root 2. And the square root of 9 is 3, so that would be 3 root 2. So you've got 5 root 2 plus 3 root 2. And just like algebra, if the surd is the same, it's the same quantity. So you can just simplify it like algebra. So that would become 5 plus 3 is 8, 8 root 2. Okay, so now let's have a go at some practice questions and put this into practice. So pause this video and have a go at these. And if you did pause it, then let's go through them. So root 45, let's do it one by one. So root 45 would be 9 times by 5. So that would give me 3 root 5. And root 125 is going to be 25 times by 5. So that would give me 5 root 5. I'm obviously doing this a little bit sped up. So that in total would give me 8 root 5. Then we've got 3 root 32. So 3 times by, so let's split up 32. Remember the square numbers are 4, 9, 16, 25, 49. We're trying to look for one that fits in here. So 16 would fit in there. So that would be root 16 times 2. So split that up further, that would be 3 times root 16 times by root 2, which would be 3 times by 4 times by root 2, which is 12 root 2. So let's write that there, 12 root 2. And now let's do 5 root 8. That would be 5 times by 4 times 2. I've just split up 8 and written it as 4 times 2. I can split that as 5 times root 4 times root 2. And that would be 5 times 2 times root 2, which is 10 root 2. So add them both together and you get 22 root 2. I'll just rub this out for the next one because I feel like we're going to have a lot of working out maybe. So that would simplify to 22 root 2. Now let's try the last one. So we've got 2 root 50. So that would be 2 times by 25 times 2. Remember, you're looking for the largest square number. And then that would become 2 times 5 times root 2, which is 10 root 2. So that would be 10 root 2. And then 3 root 18 would be 3 times root 9 times root 2, because 9 times 2 is 18, which would become 3 times 3 times root 2, which is 9 root 2. So I've got 10 root 2, take 9 root 2, which would just leave me with root 2. So there are your answers, a nice and quick video. Hopefully that was helpful.